Imagine graduating from school, getting a good job, and working hard every single day. And yet, despite doing everything right, you're still struggling to afford the same life your parents had. For millions of people, that's no longer a nightmare, it's reality. Just a few decades ago, a single income could buy a house, raise a family, and provide a comfortable retirement. Today, many households need 2 incomes, and even that isn't enough. People are working longer hours than ever before, yet somehow they feel poorer. So what happened? Did the middle class suddenly become lazy? Did people stop working hard, or did the rules of the game quietly change while nobody was paying attention? Because right now, the middle class is shrinking, and the consequences could reshape society for generations. For most of the 20th century, the middle class represented the American dream. You didn't need to be rich. You didn't need to own a company. You simply needed a stable job. A factory worker, a teacher, or an office employee could afford something that today feels almost impossible: a home, a car, a family, and a future. During the post-war boom, wages grew steadily, housing remained affordable. College tuitions was manageable, and many families survived comfortably on a single income. Life wasn't perfect, but there was a sense of progress. Every generation expected to live better than the one before it. Parents believed their children would have more opportunities, more wealth, and more security. That belief became the foundation of the middle class, but underneath the surface, something was beginning to change. Then the trend began to reverse. Not overnight, not all at once, but year after year. Housing prices started rising faster than wages, healthcare became dramatically more expensive, college tuition exploded, childcare costs surged, and everyday necessities from groceries to insurance became harder to afford. At first, people didn't notice, because the changes were gradual, a few $100s here, a few $1,000s there. But over decades, those increases became enormous. Today, many young families spend a huge portion of their income simply trying to keep up. The dream of homeownership is moving further out of reach. Student debt follows graduates for years. Medical emergencies can wipe out savings, and inflation quietly reduces purchasing power. The result, people earn more money than previous generations, yet often feel financially worse off. Because what matters isn't how much money you make, it's what that money can actually buy. And for many middle-class families, that buying power has been shrinking for years, sometimes without them even realizing it. The paycheck became larger, but the bills became larger too. The salary increased, but the cost of living increased even faster, and that's where the pressure began. Not because people stopped working hard, not because they suddenly became irresponsible, but because the economic equation started changing. Slowly, quietly. And year after year, the gap continued to widen. Many families found themselves working harder just to maintain the same standard of living their parents once achieved with less effort. That's why so many people today feel stuck. They're running faster, working longer, earning more, yet somehow they're not getting ahead. And this was only the beginning. Because while the cost of living was rising, another force was quietly reshaping the economy, a force that would change the future of work forever. As life became more expensive, people faced a difficult choice: lower their standard of living or borrow money. Most chose to borrow. Credit cards made it easy. Car loans made expensive, vehicles feel affordable. Student loans opened the door to higher education, and mortgages made homeownership possible, at least on the surface, because debt creates a powerful illusion. It allows people to enjoy tomorrow's money today. For a while, everything feels fine. The new car, the bigger house, the college degree, the upgraded lifestyle. It feels like progress. But eventually the bill arrives, and for millions of families that bill never stops coming. Every month a portion of income disappears before they even touch it. Mortgage payments, credit card interest, car loans, student loans. The more debt people carry, the less freedom they have. And slowly, many middle-class households become trapped. Not because they stopped working, not because they stopped trying, but because they owe too much. In many cases, people aren't building wealth. They're simply servicing debt. and that's a very different thing. The problem is that debt often feels invisible in the beginning. The monthly payment looks manageable. The purchase feels justified. The future seems far away. But over time, multiple payments begin stacking on top of one another. One loan becomes two become three, and before long, a large portion of income is committed before the month even begins. That's when financial stress starts to take hold, not because people don't earn money, but because too much of that money already belongs to someone else. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. The middle class isn't disappearing because people suddenly became lazy. They're not working less. In many cases, they're working harder than ever before. The problem is that the rules changed, the cost of living changed, the economy changed. But for millions of people, their financial strategy never did. For decades, we've been told that working harder automatically leads to a better life. But today's economy rewards something different. Not just hard work, but ownership, financial education, long-term thinking. Because income pays the bills, but assets build wealth, and that's a difference many people don't realize until it's too late. The goal isn't to stop working. The goal is to stop depending on work alone. Because the moment your income depends entirely on your time, your future will always have a limit. The middle class may be shrinking, but understanding why could be the first step toward avoiding the same path. So before this video ends, ask yourself one question: are you only earning money, or are you building wealth? Because those are two completely different things. If you found this video valuable, subscribe to Moneyverse Studio. Every week we break down the psychology, economics, and financial principles that shape the world around us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.